John chapter 5. Today I'm going to talk about the story about the man at the pool of Bethesda. By the sheep gate, I'm starting in verse 2. By the sheep gate in Jerusalem there is a pool called Bethesda in Hebrew, which has 5 colonnades. Within these colonnades lay a multitude of the sick, blind, lame, and paralyzed, waiting for the moving of the water, because an angel would go down into the pool from time to time and stir up the water. Then the first one who got in after the water was stirred up recovered from whatever ailment he had. There was one man there who had been sick for 38 years. When Jesus saw him lying there and knew he had already been there a long time, he said to him, "Do you want to get well?" I find this interesting that Jesus asked a man who had been not standing, who had been lying at a pool for a long amount of time. It doesn't say how long he'd been there, but he's been an invalid for 38 years. So he's probably been around that pool for years, trying to drag himself to that pool every time the angel stirred it up so he could get healed because he wanted to get well. But what Jesus was doing was changing his focus from the pool because he was so focused on the pool. When you find out his answer, when Jesus asked him that, he said, "Sir, I don't have a man to put me into the pool when the water is stirred up, but while I'm coming, someone goes down ahead of me." So he just told Jesus his frustration at that moment. Jesus said to him, "Get up. Pick up your bed and walk." Instantly, the man got well, picked up his bed, and started to walk. He didn't even question. He had been an invalid for 38 years. You can imagine they probably forgot how to walk, but he just got right up. He didn't even question, like, whoa, wait, do I have feeling in my, maybe the feeling in his legs kind of ran away. We don't know. It doesn't say. But I'm imagining that he just heard the words from the authority of the Almighty Jesus, the name who declares healing over everyone. You just got to speak the name. The man, Jesus, just spoke, "Rise up, get up and walk." And he got up and started walking without even questioning, we don't even know if he had a problem. Like, you know, so a while back, a long while back, I was training for a triathlon. And there's something called a brick run. So I was a triathlon. If you don't know what it is, you bike, you run, you swim. I don't know the exact order. I'm not a good swimmer, so I was just trying to do a duathlon. But you had to train for a brick run. So you bike for a certain amount of miles. This is what a brick run is because you're using certain muscles as you're riding your bike. And then when you get off the bike, you have to run. When you run, if you ever tried to run right after getting off a bike, this is what happens because different muscles need to be applied when you're running. You feel like you're running through mud, like your legs are not working properly. Oh, possibly when he got up to start walking, that happened, but I don't think so. I think he just got up and started walking after 38 years of being on a bed. And Jesus telling him to take up his bed and walk, there's a significance there where he told him to take up his bed. First of all, it created a huge controversy because I don't know why this was a law in the Jewish culture. I probably should look it up someday, but it was wrong to pick up your bed on the Sabbath day. And Jesus told him to pick up his bed, which created a controversy. Maybe that's why Jesus had him do it. But kind of my thought about this is the mat, which symbolized his infirmity, is now a testimony to what Jesus had done for him. So he's walking around carrying this mat that he no longer needs. He doesn't have to lay down on the mat anymore because he's no longer an invalid, but he's carrying it around because it's a testimony and a witness. And you'll find out later as you read through, they find him in the temple worshiping. And then Jesus says to him, "See, you are well. Do not sin anymore so that something worse may come upon you." So after he heals him, he gives him a commission to not sin anymore. And I just think the testimony of all that Jesus has done for you, you should wear that on your sleeve and in your life. When conversations come up about things that have happened in your life and if Jesus has brought you through it, when you're talking to others who may not know Jesus, who may need to hear the testimony of Jesus and want to know the power of Jesus, share that with them, just like this man did. There's more to the story, but this man, this was a spark. Jesus was already creating controversy through his miracles. And this was another sign. And this, like right after he did this miracle, after the man picked up his bed and walked, Jesus slipped away into the crowd because he knew this was going to create a controversy. And it wasn't his time to be called out by the Pharisees just yet. So I'm sure we're going to get there. This is why I love the book of John. So I hope this encourages you today. Stay strong, stay valiant, keep forging your path, and be blessed.